Okay, hello everybody. It's Mikkel, Awanda. I hate saying my name in full, but it's whatever. Welcome to my new podcast, Unfiltered with Mikkel. Ah, Basically, this podcast, I'm talking about literally anything, but it's going to be from my standpoint, you know what I mean? So, you know how I think. So, pretty much what this podcast is about is I'm just going to be explaining things the best way possible so that you guys kind of get understanding of who I am, I know I'm crazy, but I'm going to explain it in a way that it's I make sense of my crazy. And for people who don't know me or who have never seen my videos, I'm pretty much going to be talking about anything. I'm going to try to just explain things the best way possible to you guys so you guys understand Mikkel more thoroughly, you know what I mean? Because the thing with me is I'm always gonna have people's best interests at heart. You know what I mean? I'm never gonna tell something that I wouldn't do in my personal life. So you're actually getting honest, straight from the source advice, when I'm talking about these topics. And I'm pretty much gonna be explaining to you guys just everything through my lens, just so that this is how Mikkel thinks. This is how he processes things, and it's not gonna be the most popular opinions. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really controversial. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm really controversial. I'm not doing this for a check. I'm not doing this for a bag. I'm not doing this for money. So you're getting the real, you know what I mean? No one is controlling me and telling me, oh, you got to say these things. You got to worry about this brand deal or this, that, and the third. No, we're just in here chopping it up. This is the behind the scenes. This is the unfiltered raw. This is everything you guys want. And then I give it to you on the day to day. You know what I mean? So I really so let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is something near and dear to my heart. And that's spring. It's springtime right now. Currently, daylight savings has just begun. Yeah, I want to say daylight savings has begun because I think daylight savings is the one where it's we have more sun. So whatever one has more sun, that's what just started. Yeah, because today, man, I was going through my day and it didn't get dark till I want to say it's 8:00 currently. We're filming this. We're recording this. It probably was still sunny. Probably 7:45, and for me, seeing the sun out that long, is heaven sent because this winter was hard. You know what I mean? And I know all you guys can probably contest. This winter was hard. The sun in Maryland was going down. It'd be 4:00 and it would be dark outside. And people would be boy, ain't no way. And the thing about it is the winter was so hard. I remember my dad, he came to me, he told me, he was he goes to work early in the morning, right? He goes to work maybe 6:00 early in the morning, he's a manager. So he would leave, the sun's still down. And then the sun goes down so fast in the evening that when he gets off work, the sun is down. So it's you wake up, sun's down. You get off, sun's down. That's no way to live, you know what I mean? And it got to the point where I was just this ain't it. I've always wasn't a fan of this time of the wintertime ish, but just seeing that, it really just dawned on me yeah, when the spring hits, we're outside. It's going to be a vibe. It's going to be the move. It's going to be the woo. It's going to be everything. So now it's the springtime. Sun is out. I think today it was a high of 70. I want to say 70. Don't quote me on that, though. Actually, let's look it up. Yeah, that's the thing about this podcast. I'm going to try to be politically correct on here. So I'm going to be looking stuff up as we just chit-chat, tick-tock, or whatever. Yeah, it was 50. It was 50 today. So I'm a little off by 20 degrees. But, I mean, pretty accurate if you ask me. But yeah, like daylight savings and like you know when like it's the springtime, you just get this like extra pep in your step, like spring cleaning, so like today I had stuff to do, but I was like, you know what, today's gonna be a spring cleaning day. Let's put that stuff to the side. Let's just clean. So and then like the thing about it is my classes got canceled today. So it was just like one of those things where it's like it was fate for me to record today, but not only record, but just like do my spring cleaning. You know what I mean? Like it was just fate. Like usually Mondays are pretty busy, but just like the fact that my lab was canceled and my lecture was canceled, it was like, yo, you can't make this up. So like today I cleaned the house, cleaned the fridge. I might post some stuff on my Instagram. We'll see. Like just my fridge clean. People they're going to be pretty confused at first. They're going to be like, why is he posting his fridge? But it'll all make sense when the podcast comes out. But I cleaned my fridge. I baked some cookies. I put some chicken in the oven. I probably need to go check on that chicken. We'll go check on that chicken later. But I put some chicken in the oven for my brother. And let me go check on that chicken real quick. All right, so the chicken is okay. Okay, cool. We didn't burn the house down. I ended up just turning the oven off, so I think we're good. All right, back to what I was talking about. So with daylight savings, like pretty much, I just want to talk about like one of my fondest memories of daylight savings. And I would say like the thing I like about it the most is like how you have your whole day. You have like, so like say you wake up, it's 8 o'clock, and you BS the whole day away to like 12 o'clock. You still have another 8 hours to get things done. Whereas during the winter, it's dark at 4 o'clock. So it's like, it's one of those things where it's just like, it just puts that pep in your step. And I really love daylight savings because of that. And I feel like that's the push I needed to start this podcast. So like, I just want to talk about now, like what took so long to make the podcast. You know what I mean? And I know, cause I know what you guys are thinking. You guys are like, Mikkel, what took so long? We've been waiting for this podcast for like so long. Like you said you're going to podcast in February. It's March now. What took so long? But all right, so let me just explain. So pretty much like first, I just want to talk about how, if you don't know, I'm a perfectionist, right? And when you're a perfectionist, you just want your things to just have a certain look to them, I listen to podcasts. I've been listening to podcasts for quite a while, actually, probably since 2016. Joe Rogan podcast. Don't listen to him anymore, though. He's kind of racist. I used to listen to Bill Burr, a whole bunch of guys. But now my main person I listen to is Emma Chamberlain or whatever. She's pretty cool. Not going to go into detail with that yet. We'll probably do another episode about like my thoughts on Emma Chamberlain stuff. But yeah, just like I'm a perfectionist. So like I know what a good podcast sounds like. I know like the production quality, all that. And like pretty much I do everything low budget, but I want it to be good quality. So like that's really was like the initial like and then I'm a Virgo on top of that. So it's like times 20. Like I literally am so particular when it comes to everything. So I really had like a vision with this podcast of how I wanted it to look, sound, and be like. So that just took me a long time to just get a grasp of like, you know what, Mikkel, like just start the podcast, just start it. And just it being springtime, it being daylight savings, you get that push in your step, that's the push I needed to start this podcast. So now we're here. And I would just say another reason two of why it took so long for me to start a podcast is just like, I couldn't come up with a cover. I couldn't come up with a cover, and like, I'm really good at making thumbnails for YouTube, but like with this podcast, I kind of had the same anxiety that I had when I started my YouTube channel. Like the anxiety of like, what do I want my title to be? The anxiety of like, what do I want the cover to be? Because it's like, I need my cover to be something that like I'm not gonna get tired of. Because like, something I hate seeing is like people that start something and then every minute they're changing their title, they're changing their whole brand. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you're gonna make a brand, stick to it, right? So that's really what took me a long time, is because I was like, what do I want to envision this podcast to be like? What do I want it to look like, sound like? Cool. So when I came up with the title or whatever, Unfiltered with Mikkel, I was like, all right, well, that's pretty much me in a nutshell. So then like the cover picture had to like symbolize that as well. And I feel like the cover picture I chose is nice. I'm because I'm a Virgo, I'm not gonna promise it's gonna be the cover picture we keep. But for now, I just needed something. I just had to crank these podcasts out for you. You guys needed these podcasts. This is way overdue. I'm really sorry, by the way, but I just needed to get these out to you. So I was just like, you know what, this works for now, and we'll see how I feel. You know what I mean? I didn't really even give it any edits. It was really low production. I even put like no like wording. I didn't use Canva, nothing like that. I just literally just found a picture that looked like high quality, and I was like, all right, this is it. So yeah, really just, really going against the grain, but for you guys, we'll do that. So yeah, the cover was really one of those things where I was like, I couldn't come up with something, and then I was going to pay somebody to do a cover for me, and they did good work, and I saw them on Instagram. They do really good work. I might end up going with them for the cover. We'll see if I I'm taking the podcast serious. Podcasts are coming out every Monday and every Thursday. So I'm definitely taking podcast serious. But I'm just, as far as like the budget, you know what I mean? Because, I love my stuff to be low budget, but good quality. So that, and then I had a friend going to do it. I'm not going to say their name, but they're probably going to listen to this, and they're probably going to be like, I told a friend, I was like, hey, do you think you can make a cover for me for a podcast? And they were like, sure. This is like over winter break. And they started it, however, they never finished it. And it was just one of those things where it was like, it's kind of like conflicting ideas, because like I told them to make one and I gave them an idea, but I couldn't promise them that I was going to use the idea. You know what I mean? And then from their standpoint, they were like, well, I don't want to work on something that I don't know is going to be put into use. So like, it was one of those things where it was like, I gotta like it too, though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going, like, like you can tell somebody to do something and they can do it, but if you don't like it or whatever, it's one of those things where it's like, it's up in the air, and I appreciate them, going out of their way to make something. They didn't finish it, so I wasn't able to use it, but just like, it was just one of those things where it was like, we're just conflicting ideas. And I saw her, I knew where she was coming from, though. I don't want to work on something and then he doesn't even use it, but at the same time, like, I don't think they could see where I was coming from with like the standpoint of like, what if I don't like it? You know what I mean? What if I don't like it? So I didn't want to even get into all that. So I ended up just finding a picture. So just found a picture, and that's what we are using for now. Now, the third reason why it took me so long to make a podcast is I was just nervous to start a new platform. Like, I learned YouTube. I don't know the algorithm. I'm not on the algorithm's good side, but I do have subscribers, 6K. I don't know the algorithm. I don't know analytics. I want to learn that maybe over the summer, because like, I'm a college student. I don't have time to learn the algorithm. I don't have time to learn how to post this, then the third, timing, I don't have time for that. I just post when I post, and my people like my people. They like my videos. So it is what it is. So yeah, I don't have time to learn the algorithm. But besides that, I just like starting this platform. I know YouTube. Like, I know how to make a cover. I know how to make a thumbnail. I know how to make a title. I know how to edit on iMovie. I know how to edit on a whole bunch of things. And eventually I'm going to put out a video of like how I make my YouTube videos, but that won't come out till I hit 10K subscribers. So yeah, let's share my videos. Let's get those subscribers up, because if you guys want to learn how I edit, how I do what I do, we got to hit 10K first. So, but we're pretty close. We're at 6K. So we're like only, what, 4K away? 4K away? That's way more than doable. We should be at 4K by the end of the summer. So yeah, just learning a new platform was really daunting to me or whatever. And like, I used to tell myself, I was like, I gotta watch Anchor. Because Anchor is what I'm recording on right now, guys. This isn't a sponsored video, but Anchor is probably the easiest tool to use to make podcasts right now. Like, you literally could just go on Anchor, make an account, and you can just start recording from your phone. It's literally the simplest thing. You know, they might actually sponsor me. This might actually become a sponsored video. We'll see. I'll have to hit them up. But definitely Anchor, I will recommend to anyone looking to start a podcast today. Go on Anchor. It's really simple, super easy, super user friendly. Definitely check out Anchor if you ever are interested in starting a podcast. But just the idea of doing it, it was just one of those things where it was like, it was just all up in the air. You know, like I didn't take the time to like make it into reality. So like, that was pretty much like the big setback, was just like learning this new platform, learning how to record on Anchor, learning timing, learning pace, learning how to speak, learning my tone, my pitch, learning how to have like a room that has like low acoustic, you know what I mean? Things like that. And then just learning like what I want to talk about, like, you know, just being in a good mood, being in a good headspace, just like all those nuances for podcasting is what really like took me so long, is just being on this new platform. I'm on Spotify now, which is crazy to say. Like, I'm on a new platform. I've been on YouTube for so long. To be on Spotify now is just like, but we're here now, and we're not going nowhere, and we're here to stay. So yeah, just learning a new platform was pretty much my third biggest setback. And why do I like podcasts is because it's one of those things, I can give you guys like up-to-date content whenever, wherever, literally from the comfort of like my room. Like, I'm recording this right now in my bed, on my phone, with my microphone. And yeah, like literally from the comfort of my home, I'm able to bring you guys up-to-date, real content. You know what I mean? Just unfiltered, organically me, just, you know, we're just chatting, you know what I mean? So that's why I really love it. And then there's no like camera in front of you, so it's like there's no pressure to come up with like an outfit, or you gotta have your face beat, or like, I remember when I first started YouTube, I used to like tell myself like, oh, I could never do a video without a haircut or something, you know what I mean? So I'd always like get my hair cut before YouTube videos or whatever I film. I'll get a haircut first to put myself in that headspace. I mean, eventually I just like said, fuck it, you know what I mean? And like, I'll just have my hair however I want. But it just stuff like that. Like, you don't have to worry about any of that when you're doing a podcast. Literally, you just press record. You know, you have your pre-recorded intro, outro, you know, and you're rolling. You're rolling with the horses. You know what I mean? So that's why I really love podcasting. I really love this platform, and this is why I'm doing it. Now I want to talk about school. I want to talk about like just what's been going on, what's school looking like for me, just like, you know, keep you guys in the loop type beat, you know, like, you know, just like if you were like my parent and you were like, oh, you know, how was school type vid thing. But I'm going to give you guys like a real answer, you know, like when your parent asks you like, oh, how was school? And you're like, it was good. But you know it wasn't good. You know you're failing. You know you didn't know what was on the last test. So I'll just give you a rundown of like how I'm doing in each class, and we'll just do it like that. You know, it's pretty simple. So let's talk about botany. Botany is pretty much just a plant class. We do plants in there, and we just talk about plants all day. Botany is going really bad. It's going really bad. It's really hard. The work is really much busy work, you know. A lot of restless nights, a lot of no Saturdays, because literally extra credit assignments are freaking, she gives us like 100 questions for extra credit. So it's like you really got to earn that extra credit, you know, in that class. So like, yeah, and then we're learning about plants. And yeah, I'm a plant dad, but like learning about like the science behind the plants, I could care less. You know what I mean? I could really I could care less how plants absorb photosynthesis or something. I don't know. See, I don't know what's going on in that class. So yeah, that class is going really bad. And we have like these literature reviews every week. And she used to make them due on Thursdays. So like they used to be so stressful. Now they're due on like Sundays, which is a little bit better. So that helps. But like, I'm not the best writer, and I didn't get into like science for writing. I got into science for like experiments and stuff. So like doing research papers are kind of like, they're doable, but like I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather be just in like the greenhouse or something, you know? So like writing research papers definitely isn't fun, and I gotta do one this week actually. I missed last week, so I need to work on that as well. So I'm kind of behind, but it's okay because we're talking about it now. We're getting it off my chest, and I feel like that's another reason why I have a podcast. I can get stuff off my chest. Just puts me in the right headspace. Like, all right, we talked about it. Let's go get it done. So yeah, just gotta do that literature review. Stay on top of my extra credits, and just make sure I'm staying on top of like all the like announcements and stuff. And I think I should be pretty good for botany. All right, next class. Let's talk about zoology. Zoology is really fun. In future videos, you guys will be seeing so many cool experiments we do in that class. So many cool dissections. Just so much cool stuff. I literally have everything filmed. It's just a matter of like finding time to edit and stuff. But I'm not one of those YouTubers where it's like, oh, I never have time to edit. Like, no, I can edit. It's no problem. There's just a matter of like timing and when I want to post and stuff. But yeah, that stuff should be coming out soon. Don't worry. You guys will be coming along with me into my labs. You guys will see what it's like to be a doctor in zoology, dissecting. We literally do everything in there. So that's exciting, and I like zoology. I'm actually doing really well in that class. My last test, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I got a D on the test, but I didn't study. So like, it wasn't my fault. It was my fault, but like at the same time, like it was just inevitable. You know what I mean? But this next test go around, we're gonna go for an A. The test starts on Friday. Today is what? Let's look it up. Today is the 14th. It's Monday. Our test is on the 18th. So wish me luck. And then hopefully next week podcast, I'm not crying on here that I failed the test, because I can't fail 2 tests. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like with school, you can fail 1 test and you're still in the good. But to fail 2 tests, all right, you know what I mean? So like, I already failed my cushion test, you know? So like, everybody has a cushion test where it's like, all right, you know, you can just chop it up. It's whatever. So I'm going to chop up that first test. But this one on the 18th, I'm actually going to try to do well on it. So I'm going to, like, you know, unplug. I'm going to go ghost on everybody and just study. I just posted a video on Sunday, so you guys have your YouTube video for the week. That's the quota. So I met my quota, so now I can go and study my ass off so that I can pass that test on the 18th. And then I'll come back on like a Saturday and be like, hey, I'm back. Here's a new YouTube video. I'll probably edit on Saturday and post on a Sunday or something. But yeah, we'll just do it that way. Cool. Everything works out that way. So yeah, zoology. But other than like failing that last test, I'm doing pretty good in there. So yeah, zoology is cool. Now let's talk about life and health. Life and health is probably my funnest class. Literally, the topics we talk about in there is like just day to day. Like last week we talked about freaking vasectomies. It kind of grossed me out, and it was kind of disgusting learning like how a vasectomy works. Like they cut the tubes of the male's I don't even know what the tract is called, but they cut something in the male's body, and it basically like inhibits the sperm to travel to like from the testes, to impregnate a woman. So it's basically like cutting that off. Now you can still get an erection, but you won't have any sperm in that erection. You know what I mean? So you'll have ejaculate, but it won't have like sperm in it. You know, that's what actually like impregnates somebody. So we talked about that. We talked about like a woman's vasectomy. I feel like the woman's vasectomy is a little bit easier than the man's, but I don't want it just looked a lot less invasive. It looked a lot less invasive to me. The woman's vasectomy, they just tied some tubes around and it was like, all right, you're good to go. Whereas the guy, he's like getting like his body cut open, and I don't know, maybe because I'm a guy, so it's like a bias thing. It's like a bias thing, but I don't know. Something about that guy vasectomy, I was like, I don't like it, chief. Like, if I was ever in a position where like I'm having too many kids and like the woman or the guys to choose, I'm gonna have to tell my wife, you gotta take one for the team. You gotta take one for the team because we have too many kids. And I don't want that vasectomy, because that vasectomy, I couldn't. Yeah, you know what I mean? Something's got to give. So like, and don't get it wrong. I'm not gonna just tell them, oh, you have to get your tubes tied. Da 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 da. Like, if they get their tube tied, I'll make it worth their while. I'll probably buy them like a really nice bag. Give them like some really nice things. Really really sweeten the pot. Really sweeten the pot. Like, I'm not just gonna be like, all right, get your tubes tied and then like let's go do it. Like, nah, I'm gonna definitely pamper them and stuff. Cause like I couldn't, man. It was so invasive. I could not. I don't even want to get laser eye surgery. So like, to get a vasectomy, I couldn't. Nah, not me. Sorry. But yeah, so we saw that, and then we just saw like a whole bunch of stuff. We saw like little women have condoms. Did you guys know that? I didn't know that. Women have condoms. So we saw like what a female condom looked like. So pretty much it just goes inside the vaginal canal, and basically it inhibits sperm to travel to like the the part of the woman. Let's look it up. We're gonna look it up. Because I told you guys we're going to be politically correct. Vagina. Let's see what the vagina looks like. If I know how to spell vagina. Okay. Let's see. Vagina. Okay, so yeah, it goes up the vagina, and then you have like those eggs, and pretty much the female condom stops the sperm from inseminating you with the eggs, pretty much. So yeah, that's how that works. And it looked kind of wonky to me. It looked like a plastic bag. That's probably the best way to describe it. It's like you're putting a plastic bag up there. And yeah, and when I saw that, I was like, you know what? Honestly, when we went over all the contraceptive ways like males have and females have, like females have a lot of them. Males, we have the vasectomy, and we have like condoms. There was like maybe another one, I can't remember what it was called, but I honestly, listening to all this, I was just like, just use a condom, guys. This video isn't sponsored by Trojan, but like I use Trojan in my life. They work. It's super simple. Just use a condom. Just wrap it up. Don't make a girl have to go through birth control. Don't make a girl have to go through all these extra nuances. As a guy, if you're in if you're 18 or older, you should just have condoms on you. You don't even need to be sexually active. Just having them for your safety, you know what I mean? Because you don't want to be trapped. You don't want to get trapped out here. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about that later. But yeah, definitely just wear a condom. Just keep it wrapped up. Super easy, super cheap. They have them at every like health center. If you're in college right now, they have them at your health center. Don't be embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? Just go grab a couple of them. You're good to go. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So that's what's going on in life and health. We just talk about a whole bunch of it. So I really like that class. Now let's talk about how I'm doing in my fourth and final class, organic chemistry. I saved it for last because it's my hardest class, and I I feel like what my thoughts on organic chemistry is, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm smart, guys. I'm really smart. Don't get me wrong. I might not sound very smart on this podcast, but it's because it's unfiltered. It's unfiltered. But I'm really smart. And when it comes to that class or whatever, I'm not dumb, but like not knowing the concepts makes you feel dumb. So like when we talk about certain concepts in that class, we'll be using a whole bunch of big words. And if you don't know what these words mean, or if you don't know like how the periodic table works, this stuff's going to go right over your head. So I record my lectures, so I'm probably going to go back, and then I just need to sit down. I feel like I just need to sit down. And a sit down is pretty much when you just like, you close the door and you immerse yourself in your work. So I just need to immerse myself in organic chemistry, and I feel like I'll be fine. Luckily enough, my teacher is a very sweet man, and, you know, he's heaven sent. And, you know, Rate My Teacher is definitely, if you're a college student, going to be your best friend, because I found him on Rate My Teacher, and he had great reviews, and the reviews matched the person. Like, literally, he's a black guy, cool guy. I love this man. Like, I literally cannot rave about him enough, like how good of a teacher this man is. He really knows his stuff. He really knows chemistry, and he teaches it in a way that like makes sense to students. So like that class is just a matter of me. It's a matter of like me actually putting in the time of like immersing myself into organic chemistry, learning those concepts, and I feel like I should be all right. Cause like I remember on my first day of that class, he gave us he gave us an analogy. He said you have like a baby bird behind you, and I'm gonna butcher this analogy. Just want to put a disclaimer. But he was like, I give you a baby bird behind you, and you have to tell me whether it's dead or alive. And he basically, with that analogy, he was trying to explain that like he's gonna give you all the concepts. He's gonna give you everything you need to like know as far as organic chemistry. However, it's up to you to determine whether you're going to kill your dream, or you're gonna like let the bird fly. But he's gonna give you all you need to know. So it's up to you whether like what are you gonna do with that information, you know? So like that's what's going on in organic chemistry. Labs are super cool or whatever. He's super cool. Everything's super cool. However, we just need to immerse myself. So next week, if I don't have anything good to say about organic chemistry, you guys need to jack me up in the comments. You guys need to jack me up when you see me in person. You need to be like, Mikkel, why are you not immersing yourself in your organic chemistry? I'm going to jack you up. If I see you out here in the streets, you need to be studying. You need to be studying somewhere. I don't want to see you. Go study. Get out of my face. That's what y'all need to do to me. So if I have good news, though, then I'm good. But if I have bad news, because I'm going to be straight up with you guys. You know what I mean? I'm not going to, like, try to lie and be like, oh, I'm doing good. Like, no. Last week, I failed a test in organic chemistry. I didn't know anything on the test. I literally looked at that test, and I was like, I don't know this. And I'm not even going to, like, try to, like, pretend like I knew it. It was just one of those things where I just saw the answers, and I was like, yep, I'm good off that, my boy. I don't know this. You can have that. And I was honest with the teacher, and I was like, you know, I really don't know this stuff. And it's my fault. It's my fault. I've been so preoccupied, but you know, it's midterms. This is the turning point, and I'm going to make that adjustment. But yeah, my teacher, he was like, don't even worry about it. It's cool. It's the first test, you know, just chop it up. We're going to learn a new topic now. So I'm going to immerse myself into that. We're going to chop this one up, keep it pushing. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what's going on in there. And I'm excited. I'm going to immerse myself. We're good. All right, now I just want to talk about spring break. Spring break. I'm literally seeing, because like the way like college works or whatever, I go to HBCU or whatever, and everybody has spring breaks at different times. So some people's spring break is the beginning of March. Some people's spring break is the end of March. Some people's spring break is the middle. I know Howard's was the beginning. Where I'm at, it's at the end of the month. And then I know Morgan's is in the middle of the month. So literally it's all over the place. So I'm seeing friends at my old school at Howard. Their spring break was at the beginning of the month. I'm seeing friends at Morgan, their spring break is the middle of the month. I'm seeing friends at Bowie or whatever, their spring break is at the end of the month. So, what you call it? It's just all over the place. But for me, my plans for spring break or whatever, I have no plans. I have no plans. I'm probably just going to edit YouTube videos. I'm going to try to get some concert videos out for you guys. I'm going to try to get a couple, I'm gonna try to edit my ass off. I'm going to edit my ass off. Literally, that's my plans. Edit my ass off, and I want to see some friends as well, film some videos for them, for their channels and stuff, because a lot of people want to do collabs with me. So I told them, like, hey, my spring break is at the end of the month. We can collab, we can work together, and then just like hang out with friends. Probably just hang out with friends. Just, I'm just trying to take this spring break and just use it to get stuff done. Maybe take a day to just like, do a little bit of studying so that I'm not like dumb when I come back to school. You know what I mean? Immerse myself in my work, as you know. And then I'm also going to be working. So I'll probably, be working probably maybe 4 days next week. 4 days next week I'll probably try to work. But work isn't even hard. Work is really chill. My job is super easy. We'll talk about my job in like another episode. But yeah, just working, editing, working out. I started working out recently. I just started maybe last week or so. I got back in the gym. Because like what happened with the gym is like, I remember I was at school one day and I was talking to these nurses at the school, and they're nursing majors. And we were just chatting around, and like I was telling them like my lifestyle, because they was like, what do you like to do for fun? What do you like to do for fun? And I was like, well, I don't really know. I would say working out is pretty fun, but I haven't been in a while. But I pay my gym membership faithfully. You know what I mean? Like I pay my membership every month. I pay on time. Like I got my gym membership. Like I'm in there. You know what I mean? But just like the fact that like I don't have time. I have school, I have work, I have so many things on my plate. I don't have time. And she just gave me this look that like it still resonates with me even to this moment, of just like she just looked at me as a person. You know what I mean? Like not this persona, not this like whole like aura of like Mikkel. Like she just looked at me as a person, and she looked at me dead in my eye, and like I'll never forget this. She was like, you have time. And I was just like, yo, don't look at me like that. Like I was literally just like, I was like one of those things where it's like it's like you're not threatening me, but like it was like a challenge. I took that challenge, and I was like, you know what, you are right, I do have time. So like that literally that evening I went to the gym, and I sent them a picture of it, and I was like, I got time. And they're probably confused like on like the message, like, oh, da 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 da, but we talked about it, and like, yes. Sorry about that, guys. Someone called me, but it's okay. So yeah, that's pretty much my spring break though. I'm just gonna be working out, literally making money at work, literally seeing my friends, editing YouTube videos, and yeah, just those 4 things pretty much. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really gonna travel too much, because like, I don't know, my lifestyle, I don't really have one of those lifestyles where like I could just take a trip, because I got so many other priorities right now. You know what I mean? Like I feel like people that take trips for spring break or whatever, it's good to get out. Don't get me wrong. It's good to get out. It's good to get out of your day to day and just go see like the world and stuff. But like with my life or whatever, I just feel like there's levels to it. So like right now we're in the college phase, and like college phase, you're hunkering down, you're staying local, not really doing too much or whatever. Whereas like the next phase of like, life post grad, yeah, I can see myself, taking trips and stuff and like doing all that. But right now, I'm just living in like the now, and like living in like this phase where it's like we're driving a little hoopty and we're living on a budget. And that's okay, because you're in college. This is college life. This is what it's supposed to be like. I'm not going to try to keep up with the Joneses and be like, oh, I'm in Miami and da-da-da-da-da. Like, nah, I'm chilling. That time will come, you know what I mean? You got a long life to live, So, yeah, don't feel any pressure if you don't travel for spring break. Don't feel any pressure that you weren't able to travel because it's like you're in college, you know what I mean? Like, no, you're good. And if for the people that do travel, that's good, you know what I'm saying? Don't let me discourage you from traveling over spring break. It's definitely good if you can. But if you can't, because of like your lifestyle, you're in college. So just use that as like, your reason behind it, which is a valid reason. You know what I mean? But that has been the podcast. Yeah, that's my spring break plan. So yeah, that's been the podcast. Thank you guys so much for like just listening to me talk for like however long this podcast was. Thank you guys for even coming over to a new platform. Like, this is crazy. Like, you guys know me for YouTube, and like I'm gonna continue to do YouTube videos, continue to like, you know, give out ideas of like what future videos are gonna be like. Willow coming soon. And I'm gonna continue just like, you know, posting consistently on YouTube. But like this right here, this space, this unfiltered space, this is exciting. I'm excited for what's to come. I'm excited for like all the like stuff we talk about on here. I'm gonna try to keep the cussing to a minimum, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Because I'm even trying to get out of the habit of cussing. But we'll talk about that in a later podcast. This has been the podcast. Follow me on my Instagram at Mikkel16_ for just like day-to-day updates of like what I've been up to and stuff. Follow me on there. And also like DM me if you have any questions for any future videos, future podcast ideas. Let me know in my Instagram DMs how you thought about my podcast, because I'm not able to actually see comments, I think, on Spotify. I gotta see. But I definitely want to know like you guys' like thoughts about like my podcast and stuff, because I just love fan interaction. I love like, you know, interacting with my supporters and stuff. So definitely do that. DM me, let me know what you think. Definitely share this podcast on your stories if you can. And yeah, because like it really helps. It really does help. Like when your friends share your stuff, it helps. That's how I was able to grow to 6K subscribers on YouTube. And hopefully this can also grow to something, you know, something special. You know what I mean? Like this is the goal is world domination. The goal is world domination. So this is just a step. This is a step for it, you know, like we did the YouTube, we're doing YouTube. My face is all over there, but now my face is going to be all over here on Spotify. We're slowly dominating everything to the point where it's like, you're going to see your boy on a billboard somewhere like, hey, da 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 da. But nah, this has been the first podcast. I am the host, Mikkel. Thank you for listening to me. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you guys are listening to this, whenever you guys are listening to this podcast. Oh, quick reminder, podcast will be coming out every Monday and Thursday. So if I miss a podcast on a Monday, then it will be on a Thursday. Or if I miss a podcast on a Thursday, then trust and believe it will be a podcast that Monday on the dot. And if there isn't a podcast, DM me and be like, where the podcast at? And I'm going to get on that. Or there might even be some weeks where I'm in like really in a good funk, you know, I'm really in a good mood, you know what I mean? Where I post a podcast Monday and Thursday. Those are going to be some really good weeks. Those are going to be the good weeks. But yeah, this has been the Mikkel Unfiltered Podcast. I'm your host. Thank you guys for listening. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your whatever you guys are doing. All right. I love you guys. Good night. Goodbye. See you later. Love you. Goodbye.